Hey there, it's Julie Hutchison here from Think, Be, Do Leadership. And today, the question on my lips, anyway, is that I want to know, are you waiting for permission to lead? And the reason why this came up, folks, is because yesterday I was having a wonderful conversation with a friend and colleague who was telling me about somebody that she knows who said to her, I don't know why I didn't get the job. I don't know why I've always been passed over for promotion. I always do everything I'm asked of me. I will do everything that is asked of me. And today I want to explore that, because the discussion that came along was actually, if you do everything that is asked of you, there is a massive failure in exactly that point. And that is, as a leader, should we need to wait to be asked to lead? Should we be waiting for permission to lead? So the conversation went like this, and that if somebody says to you, oh, can you lead this project? Could you create this project? Could you take on this role? Can you do this thing? And you say, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do this. Yes. And you avidly go ahead and you do that thing. And people are pleased with you. Yeah, you've done a great job. The problem with that is that people see you not as the leader. They see you as the doer of the things that need to be done. Which is lovely. Don't get me wrong. That's brilliant if they see you as a doer or a fixer or somebody who, is really like solid and will get things done. But they probably don't see you as a leader, because if all the time when they ask, you have the time and the energy and the yesness to do what they ask, then that's how they're going to see you, as somebody they can turn to when they have something they need to do. And that's not what leaders necessarily will be given out as a oozing out of their pores. What we need to do is change that around. If you were wondering, well, why am I being overlooked for promotion? Why is it that Bob over there always gets promoted or gets the opportunities and I don't, but I'm much better at my job than Bob is? Probably the answer is that you are better at your job than Bob is, because Bob isn't there for a job. Bob is there to move things forward, and he has probably the gift of the gab, let's say. And so he is visible and he's seen as a leader. Now, but he may be rubbish in that role, but because he is seen as that by other people, and you may not be being seen as that, then they're going to pick Bob over you every single time, which means that you don't get the opportunities, which means that you don't get the promotions, which means that you don't get seen or heard or be seen as a leader. And this often happens because what I see a lot of perhaps quiet leaders are that they are waiting for it to be okay for them to take that leadership position, and they're not pushing themselves forward. And so what happens is, and you may experience it, is that you think, well, I can do that. I can do what Bob's doing, but you don't put your hand up, or you don't go ahead and take that opportunity and put yourself forward for it, or just take hold and do something because you want to do something, or that you think is a good idea, because you're a nice person and you maybe ask for permission, or you wait to be asked. And when you wait to be asked in business, generally they won't ask you to be the leader. They'll ask you to do the thing that the leader wants you to do. Yeah. So we get caught in this catch-22 situation of being too good at our job. And that's Best Story is not the first person who spoke to me this month about this. Too good at your job, always seen to be the reliable person that everybody can turn to help them out. And that word help, you're seen as a helper. Helper doesn't say leader. And don't get me wrong, as a leader, you will always help people, but people don't define you as that. They get help from you, but they get advice or they get support or that kind of help. But the help I'm talking about, the help these people are doing, is actually they are wanting you to help them by doing it for them. That's not you as a leader. Okay, so we got it around the wrong way. And the problem is that if you're in this catch-22, you may well also not be seeing the opportunities that come past you, because when you get used to not having those opportunities, and when you get seen as a doer and you're so busy doing, well, of course, then your brain isn't looking for those opportunities because you're too busy doing. And there's a thing in your brain called the reticular activating system, which is what tells your brain to start looking out for these things that you're interested in. So if you were interested in buying a new car and you chose that you were going to buy a blue BMW, then your brain is going to tell you to look for blue BMWs. Oh, that's something I'm interested in. So you're suddenly going to start seeing all these blue BMWs driving on the road. Yeah, if you've experienced that, possibly you have. Or if you're a woman and you're pregnant, or even if you're a man and your partner's pregnant, then everybody seems to be pregnant when you have this experience, because your brain is saying that's important to me. So the problem is for you is that your brain's not saying it because you're too busy doing everything for everybody else. So you're a really helpful person, but you're not the leader. And so now your brain's not even looking for these opportunities. So you won't get the promotion. You might see something like, oh, we need a project lead for this or whatever, but your brain's probably saying, no, you're not interested in that. You don't do that. So you don't even go for it. Or maybe you don't even see it. And so now your brain isn't looking for it. You're so busy doing this other stuff. So you're never going to get the opportunity to step up. Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to, one, turn that reticular activating system on. Okay. We need to tell our brain, I want those opportunities. I am going to be looking out for those opportunities. Because the minute you do that, that's when you're going to see, I don't know, the job advert. You're going to see the email that somebody says, oh, we need some people to do this, or we're looking for that. Or you're going to start thinking, hold on a second, that's my job. That's my opportunity. And I'm going to go for it. So you're going to put yourself forward. But the other thing is that we need to stop waiting for people to tell us what to do. We need to start either doing it or suggesting it or going out there and just getting on with it and then saying, I'm going to do this. Just to let you know, that's what I've done, even. Yeah, if you want to be polite about it. But the point being is that leaders take those opportunities. And if you're just waiting for permission to have an opportunity, it's not coming. Okay. Or maybe for the lucky few, let's say. Your boss might think, well, she'd be great as a leader, but she needs a bit of help, a bit of support, and a bit of like looking at it from a different perspective. I'm going to put her on a leadership program. Great. That's really nice that somebody's seen that. But actually what we need to do is turn on your reticular activating system and get you to look for your opportunities and take those opportunities. Does that make sense? If you are listening to this live, hello, do pop something in the comment to let me know, and let me know what you think about what we've just said about your reticular activating system. What is it that you're looking for? If you're watching this on the replay, again, just put replay and let me know what your thoughts are about what you're losing out on through not having your reticular activating system switched on to opportunity and being a leader. So really what I want to know is, are you waiting for permission? So let's think of some examples. I need a drink. Hold on a second. Okay. Examples. If you're a teacher and you want to be the head teacher or the deputy head teacher or something like that, yeah, you're good at what you do. You may be head of department and you're like, well, I do all these things when I'm asked, yeah. But if you're not showing those people that might put you in that role that you can take things forward and be dynamic and grow and start looking at the wider picture and being strategic, then they're not going to do it. You're just doing what they want. Yeah. If you are an accountant, for example, you may be a brilliant accountant, but unless you start thinking not just like an accountant, but maybe a bit more strategically or entrepreneurially, depending on what environment you're in, then you're not going to be seen as the leader. You're going to be seen as a really good accountant, which is amazing of itself, by the way, but it depends what you want. If you want to be the leader, then you need to add on this other part to your skill set, the interpersonal skills, the ability to grow people, the ability to inspire people. And that means you need to turn on your reticular activating system for opportunities. And you need to take that opportunity to try that out, so that if there is a role that you want to be in, then you're going to get it. Or if you are the business owner, then you need to change the way you're doing it, because there's no good just being a really good accountant. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I made some notes and I really can't remember what I've missed off now. So let me just see. Well, I've done all that reticular activating system. Yes. Aha. This is another one. I don't want to say victim, but I just said it. But don't use the word victim. But like people say, like, oh, this person has a victim mindset. which is a horrible phrase. So we're not going to say that. But what I'm going to ask you now to think about is, when you're in a situation, do you feel like the world is done to you? Do you feel like your opportunities are done to you? Or do you take control and take those opportunities? Okay. So it's a bit like victim in that some people have a fatalistic view of their opportunities. Like, it didn't come. I wasn't lucky. Yeah. And therefore it's almost as if it's nothing to do with that person. And if this is you and you feel like, well, I'm never lucky, I never get this lovely language of never, and I'm always last and I am always left out and I never get this opportunity, the reason why is probably because one, you're not, as we've said, you're not putting yourself in that position. People don't see you in that way. But equally, it's probably because you think it's actually not, there's nothing you can do about it. And I want you to change that. I want you to turn around and say, I can take that and I can do that, rather than will I be allowed to do it? So it's taking us back to that permission. But it's like, don't wonder whether you're allowed to do this or allowed to take up that opportunity, because you are not there to be done to. The world doesn't do it to you. Yeah, things happen. And it was Jim Rohn, I think, who said, I could be completely wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Jim Rohn who said that it's not the wind, it's not what happens with the wind, it's the set of your sail. And what he meant, if it was Jim Rohn, and I'm sure it was, that he meant that, you know, the wind can come and the rain can come and all those things, but it's how you stand up to that, how you set your sail, that's really going to be the outcome for you. Yeah, because if the wind blows and you set your sail in the right way, then you're going to fly. Yeah, if you don't and you just allow it to do to you what it will, then you're not. Or maybe you get washed up on a beach somewhere and you're just lucky. But this is not about luck. This is about taking it. And this is really important, because so many times I see people who really, truly believe, I've done everything I could. I really think I deserve it. And you probably do. Okay. That's the other really annoying thing. You know, I mentioned Bob at the start. Bob gets the promotion. Bob gets the extra salary. Bob doesn't even deserve it. You probably deserve it. And you're the one who's probably not getting it because you're not speaking up and you're not taking control. And you need to be able to say, no, I'm not having that. I won't be done to. I will stand up. And Julian, thank you very much. It is all about personal accountability. Yeah, because we have to stand up for what we want and take responsibility and accountability for making it happen for ourselves, rather than waiting for somebody to either give it to us or give us permission to do it. That makes sense. So today, I want you to take a little look at your opportunities. I want you to, I keep doing that, you know, switch on this reticular activated system. I don't know where it is in our brain, but it's in there somewhere. Switch it on to tell yourself what you really want. Okay. So if I want to have an opportunity for growing my business, or I want to change my product line, or I want to get promoted, or whatever it is, tell your brain that and start looking. Please do not wait for your boss or another to tell you it's okay to step up, because they ain't going to, and Bob will get that promotion and you won't get it. Okay. So take control and choose that you're going to look out for these opportunities. You're going to turn on the reticular activating system and you're going to take it for yourself. Okay, good. If that was of any interest to you and you thought that was useful, then we have a Facebook group that you may join, a free Facebook group that join called the Quiet Leaders with Impact. Please feel free to join it, and I will pop a link in the comments. But also, we are opening our doors to the next cohort of the Quiet Leaders Launchpad, which is a mastermind group, it's a 12-month mastermind group that we work on the impact influence that you have in your business or in your work role, which means that you're more likely to get promoted. You are going to grow your business because you're going to grow your team, and you're going to have more impact and influence across in any sphere that you are in. So if that is something you would like to find out more about, then one, private message me if you would like, or hang on, I will post in, there you go. That is the link to find out more about it. So I've just posted that in the, it may not come into all the things, so I'll post it again in the comments afterwards. But that's the link to the Leaders Launchpad program. which tells you all about it. So you can scroll through and have a little look about what people like about it and what it might do for you. And let me put the Facebook group in as well, because that will be useful for you. There. Okay, so I've popped that in there. I think it might not turn up on all of the things because it's just showing one at the moment. Anyway, so what I want you to do is to turn on your Reticular Activated System, join the Facebook group. So that's a good start as well, because if you want something, then you might as well be around people who also want what you want, because then you're all going to be able to work together. And then find out about the Quiet Leaders Launchpad and working with me to get the impact and influence that you want and get the opportunities that you want and grow the business that you want. So I'm Julie Hutchison, Think, Be, Do Leadership. Really hoping that you're going to stop waiting for permission to lead and take the bull by the horns. I've said that before. I'm vegan, so I wouldn't take the bull by the horns if I had to. So have a lovely day. Join us and we'll see you soon.